If you let go, he dies. Wait, what? I need to take a shit. Right now. Hey guys, Thomas here. So yeah, handshakers. Kind of a literal title since you have characters who are shaking well, they aren't even shaking hands, they are more like holding hands, so even that's a lie. But hand holders doesn't have that ring to it, I guess. It's a new anime with an amazing budget. Kinda. Probably. I don't know, I didn't find anything on the internet, so it's just a new anime. But now, on to the review. Really difficult to consider the animation style here, since on the first viewing it looked like shit, an utter mess. But on the second watch through I started noticing more details and backgrounds and it started looking pretty amazing. The 3D camera movements, the dynamic effects, whoa! This couldn't be cheap. Just the coloring scheme, it looks like there's more effort put in there than in One Punch Man. But why do I think it's shit then? Well, nothing makes sense. It's like the director shoved money in there without any sense of art direction. None of the elements mesh with each other. Like for example, you have these outrageous camera angles everywhere. But why? With video, the movement is used to give some information to the viewer, to introduce new elements. But here, it's just because they can. There's no point to them. And then you mesh these 3D elements out of nowhere with 2D characters. That is utter garbage. You have no coherent visuals here, so overall, it just looks like me after drinking 2 tequilas and puking on a paper. This shit doesn't mesh at all. Oh, did you catch on me saying mesh so many freaking times? I happen to question why? Well, the main character has a catchphrase. Not even joking. It's "this meshes" or "this doesn't mesh at all." That's pretty painful. I mean, you can't beat Naruto with his famous "Mada Mada Dane." Either way, the lost souls that happened to watch the first episode of an anime were left with nothing but a taste of rotten garbage in their mouth and some form of AIDS of the eyes. There isn't anything that happens there. The most you get is that a guy finds a sleeping girl, decides to hold her hand for some reason. Turns out he now made a bond with her because if he lets go, she dies. And then they have a fight for absolutely no reason. The next episode is wholly dedicated to plot exposition with a wacky scientist. Woohoo! Quirkiness for the win. So we have to shit through 20 minutes of talking that isn't even that important since the most important things are told later on when needed, like how she stably gets stronger and doesn't need to hold hands as much, or how people can detect other shakers from a distance, which would have been a pretty important thing to know from the very start, but nah, let's tell them that later on. You have the bare minimum of character development, if even that. The main dude's only characteristic is that he fixes stuff, and the girl doesn't even speak or show any emotion until the end of the anime, being a completely blank slate. And if you see new characters being introduced in the anime, then you can be 100% certain that they are going to be the next opponents for the protagonists. Cause the whole story goes like this. They meet up with some guys, they turn out to be shakers, they fight. They meet school friends, they turn out to be shakers, they fight. Story speaks about an idol, she turns out to be a shaker, they fight. Story says that the girl actually has a twin sister. Yep, they fight. That's it, the whole story. Sorry if I spoiled it, but no, I'm not. The only thing keeping the plot moving forward is that they have to hold hands or she dies. Which is pretty weak, especially since by the 4th episode they already want to spend their entire lives together, but they haven't really shared anything at all. There's more plot related stuff actually, I kinda forgot already. So this is kinda important that they glance over because they don't give any shits. But a shaker that defeats all of the other shakers or like a certain amount of shakers can meet God, who will grant one of their wishes. But it doesn't really go anywhere with that part of the story. And oh god, the fan service. If there is any fan service in the episode, then the anime makes it blatantly clear that it's time for fan service. There is no medium in between where they just hint at it or it's in the background. It's either completely fan service or none at all. But the majority of it happens in the first episode, so you don't have to worry about the boob physics too much. I found a pretty interesting article on it. Can you imagine it fighting while holding your partner hands? Only one word can describe it. Retarded. So, should you watch it or drop it? Dear God, drop it. Drop it like your firstborn child. I have no idea what happened here. The style is total bullshit. The story is crap beyond salvation. Those relentless bastards even hinted at a second season. Jesus. Not gonna happen with that score. Although, never say never. But wait, there's more. After these messages. The message is being hit the bell button. Because one of my videos did pretty badly and I'm not willing to accept that it just wasn't that good, but instead you just didn't see it. So hit the bell button and don't miss my freaking videos. And also about the reviews of your choice. Hey, I can't do it with just one hand. What do you mean you can't just do... Oh my God!